I understand that many times you might find yourself or your friends saying this, but you can't resist the urge to buy the latest launch, even when there are no major changes. Ever wondered why? Well, it's no surprise that Apple Inc. is one of the world's most valuable brands, with a brand value of approximately $880.5 billion in 2023. The brand has consistently won the CMO Survey Award for marketing excellence for 10 consecutive years. So, what exactly is Apple doing to influence us through its marketing? Let's uncover the truth behind how Apple is impacting us, and what marketing secrets they hold that Android companies might not know. How Apple influences you. Alright, let's take a journey back to the launch of the iPad. Why this trip down memory lane? You'll soon see why. When Steve Jobs introduced the iPad, he engaged the audience in an interactive session. He posed the question, how much do you think an iPad would cost? And projected a hefty price tag of $999 on the screen. Naturally, many were taken aback as it seemed quite steep. However, something intriguing unfolded. Jobs proceeded to delve into the product's features, capturing the audience's attention. Just as he concluded his pitch, the price on the screen plummeted to $499. Suddenly, more people were drawn to the product, feeling like they were getting a great deal. This psychological phenomenon is known as the anchoring effect, where individuals heavily rely on the initial information presented to them. Apple employs a similar strategy in marketing its iPhones. With each new iPhone release, Apple compares it to its predecessors, emphasizing the enhancements and added features. Rather than merely recommending which phone to purchase, Apple explains why you need the latest iPhone. This instills a sense of urgency in prospective buyers, driving them to upgrade. Meanwhile, existing iPhone users may begin to perceive their current devices as outdated or lacking in features. This subtle persuasion frequently results in a substantial number of iPhone users opting for the newest model. Apple seems to have mastered the art of understanding human psychology, wouldn't you agree? I mean, think about that distinct feeling when you land on Apple's website. It's like immersing yourself in a world of elegant design and simplicity. Who needs flashy when you're greeted by those captivating product images and straightforward, no-nonsense messaging that convinces you precisely why you need that sleek new gadget? And let's talk about their ads for a moment. They're not just promoting a product, they're selling you an entire lifestyle. Have you ever noticed how everyone in an Apple commercial appears to be living their best life? It's all about tapping into those positive vibes and making you feel like you're part of an exclusive club. The iMac isn't just positioned as a computer, it's presented as a gateway to an exhilarating and enjoyable computing experience. Similarly, the iPhone isn't merely labeled as a smartphone. It's celebrated for encapsulating the power of an Apple computer within a handheld device. But here's where it gets really exciting. In September 2023, Apple made waves by introducing its first carbon-neutral product, the Apple Watch Series 9. Not only does it exude sophistication on your wrist, but it's also contributing to saving the planet. These watches adhere to stringent criteria. They're manufactured and used with 100% clean electricity, incorporate 30% recycled materials, and slash air transportation for shipping by 50%, resulting in a remarkable 75% reduction in product emissions. This bold move by Apple demonstrates that technology and sustainability can indeed coexist harmoniously. However, alongside these strategic marketing tactics, Apple has faced criticism for allegedly intentionally slowing down older iPhones to incentivize users to upgrade. Reports indicate that Apple was fined 27 million euros for this practice, which often occurs following the release of a new iPhone. Consequently, the likelihood of current iPhone users upgrading to the latest model is estimated to be as high as 92%. This tactic serves as a shrewd means for Apple to maintain a loyal customer base and drive sales. Apple's environmental initiatives extend to its packaging, aiming for 100% fiber-based packaging for the Apple Watch, and over 99% for the iPhone 15. These environmentally conscious efforts are seamlessly integrated into Apple's marketing strategies, enhancing its eco-conscious and forward-thinking brand image. Their long-term objective is to reduce emissions by 90% by 2050, a commitment that resonates with consumers and underscores Apple's dedication to sustainability and innovation. Apple's impact extends beyond its own products. Android manufacturers have also played a significant role in shaping the smartphone market dominated by Apple. Many Android devices emulate the aesthetics and functionality of iPhones, catering to consumers who aspire to own an iPhone but may have budget constraints. For instance, Vivo's interface closely mirrors that of an iPhone, appealing to users who aspire to own an Apple device in the future. This emulation creates an impression that Android devices offer comparable experiences to iPhones, further solidifying Apple's influence in the smartphone industry. Moreover, Apple is renowned for its daring approach to product design. Bold decisions such as eliminating the headphone jack, introducing the controversial notch, and excluding accessories like chargers and earphones from iPhone boxes exemplify this. While these choices may initially perplex consumers, they are part of Apple's strategy to innovate and push boundaries. For instance, the removal of the headphone jack was necessitated by the larger display of the iPhone X, aiming to achieve a sleeker design and enhance user experience. These calculated moves demonstrate Apple's willingness to disrupt conventional norms in pursuit of innovation. Also, we cannot overlook the significant role of consumer psychology manipulation by Apple, which is truly remarkable. By tapping into our subconscious desires and emotions, Apple constructs a narrative that deeply resonates with consumers. For instance, consider the environmental angle in Apple's marketing campaigns. When Apple decided to exclude chargers from Apple Watch boxes, they highlighted the environmental benefits, shooting advertisements amidst lush greenery to evoke sentiments of eco-friendliness and sustainability. These subtle cues subtly shape our perceptions and sway our purchasing decisions without our conscious awareness. So, the next time you feel drawn to the latest iPhone or contemplate an upgrade, it's essential to recognize that Apple's influence transcends mere product features. It's a testament to the power of effective marketing, strategic innovation, and the subtle art of persuasion. How people get influenced so easily. You know, it's funny how our brains work sometimes, isn't it? We can be so easily influenced without even realizing it. Take smartphones, for example. You've got the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Samsung Galaxy A15 staring at you, and suddenly, it feels like a big decision. But why is that? Let's start with the allure of luxury. The iPhone has this undeniable aura of status around it, doesn't it? It's like the Gucci handbag of the tech world. People want it not just for its features, but for what it represents: status. And who can blame them? In a world where image matters, owning an iPhone can feel like you've made it. And let's not forget about the power of influence. Whether it's celebrities, influencers, or even your neighbor down the street, they all have a hand in shaping our perceptions. When you see your favorite celebrity flaunting the latest iPhone, suddenly, the allure of the Samsung Galaxy A15 or any high-end Android device fades away. You're drawn to what they have because, well, they make it look irresistible. But it's not just about status and influence. It's also about how companies like Apple play with our minds. Take the iPhone SE 2020, for example. It's as if Apple took a stroll down memory lane, brushed off some old designs, added a few upgrades, and voila, a new iPhone is born. And consumers flock to it, even when there's no significant change in design, simply because it's still an iPhone, right? So, essentially, the iPhone SE 2020 stands among Apple's more budget-friendly options, blending elements of previous body designs with updated hardware. Interesting, isn't it? Sure, the iPhone SE, like any other phone, has its strengths and weaknesses, but here's where Apple's mastery shines through. They excel at reframing those weaknesses as minor inconveniences. Maybe the battery life isn't exceptional, or perhaps the camera could use some improvement, but just take a look at that elegant design. And just like that, they've captured our attention. Now, you might be wondering, why don't people criticize Apple more? Shouldn't we hold companies accountable for their pricing and practices? Well, it's not that simple. While some argue that you're paying for a premium experience and sustainability, and that argument are valid, others question whether that experience justifies the hefty price tag. Let's talk numbers for a moment. Reports indicate that the production cost of an iPhone X is approximately $370, yet it retails for a staggering $999. That's quite a hefty markup, wouldn't you say? Granted, we can factor in expenses like marketing, distribution, and employee wages, but even so, a price closer to $500 would seem more reasonable, don't you think? So, why pay extra? But here's the thing. It's not solely about the raw materials and labor costs. It's about the perceived value. Apple has perfected the art of instilling in us the notion that we're investing in something exceptional, something deserving of the extra cost. And for many individuals, that sense of exclusivity is well worth the higher price tag. Of course, there are those who will argue that you can get similar features for a fraction of the price with other brands. And they're not wrong. Brands like Samsung and Vivo offer high-quality smartphones at more affordable prices. But for some reason, the allure of the iPhone remains strong. Maybe it's the sleek design, the user-friendly interface, or the seamless integration with other Apple products. Or maybe it's just the feeling you get when you pull out that iconic Apple logo from your pocket. Whatever it is, there's no denying that Apple has a way of capturing our hearts and our wallets. So, why are people susceptible to influence? It's a blend of factors, from the allure of status and prestige to the emotional pull of possessing the newest and most advanced device. And although critiques of companies like Apple are present, they often pale in comparison to the firm brand loyalty and perceived value cultivated over time. At the end of the day, choosing between an iPhone or an Android like Samsung Galaxy A15 might seem like a big decision, but in the grand scheme of things, it's just another example of how surprising and effortlessly we can be influenced, sometimes losing sight of our own opinions. So the next time you find yourself chasing after the latest iPhone, just remember, it's not just about the phone itself, but the story and status that come with it. In conclusion, it's clear that influence plays a significant role in our choices, especially when it comes to smartphones like the iPhone. Despite criticisms and debates over value, factors like status, brand loyalty, and emotional attachments continue to hold a significant influence. In the end, recognizing these factors reminds us to carefully consider our purchasing choices and be mindful of what we truly prefer. Now, if you've ever wondered why China is leading among developing nations, check out their unique approach to tracking their citizens and consider how it might be beneficial. Learn more in this video. Don't forget to watch and share your thoughts in the comment section below.